sick and tired now of hearing everybody repeat the same regurgitated bullshit. They try and pass off as their own thoughts. We're becoming this unified way of thinking. People haven't got the ability now for complex thought where they can understand different viewpoints. People are always happy to say they're open-minded until they've got an idea of something embedded into their head. And most of the time, they don't even know where it's come from.
70% of your beliefs are forged in your social environment. With the world of social media, we've now opened the doors to the world.
It shouldn't be ordained by just one or two people that you've seen online that have come out with a viewpoint, and now that is your new religion. We need to stop being sheep, start being shepherds in our own thinking, and just because somebody else has told you something, go and question it. Check, is it true?
The more attention you can garner, the more you can monetize it. If people don't think that that can be abused, then you're just being ignorant.
Got to start off this episode with a bit of a moan, and he's going to centre around the makeup for this episode, which is I'm sick and tired now of hearing everybody repeat the same regurgitated bullshit that they try and pass off as their own thoughts. And it is something that I have literally heard say on a TikTok or an Instagram or on YouTube from an influencer, and they say the exact same thing. Now, this isn't me getting upset because people are no, hold on. This isn't me getting upset because people are saying fun and catchy like phrases that they've heard, like the classic "in-betweeners" was full of them, "you bummed her" was hilarious.
You bummed her!
Everyone was saying it when we were at school, and
bus wanker.
Bus wankers.
There's
so many, and that's I'm fine with. But it's when people try and pass off some form of intelligence or logic against their thought, and it is clearly just regurgitated from somebody else. I'm starting to see it so much nowadays. To be honest, I'm getting quite pissed off with the fact that people have no longer got their own thoughts, and I wanted to talk about why, wanted to talk about whether it's a problem, because I think it is, and I think that generally for us now, we're becoming this unified left or right, or unified sort of way of thinking, and people haven't got the opportunity, haven't got the ability now for complex thought where they can understand different viewpoints, understand other people's perspectives, why they believe what they believe and where they've got those beliefs from, and then actually try and learn from other people, try and change your beliefs. There's that really fun quote where it's something along the lines of, people always question their beliefs except for those that they truly believe in, and those are the beliefs that they never truly question. Essentially what they're saying is people are always happy to say they're open-minded until they've got an idea of something embedded into their head, and most of the time they don't even know where it's come from, and they never think to actually question why they think the way they do. And I think today I want to challenge people to actually have some of their own fucking thoughts and think about why they believe what they believe and whether what they believe is even true. Because so many times nowadays you hear people say, I hate Donald Trump, I hate Zach Polanski, I hate immigration, I hate reform, I hate conservatives, this and that. And it's like, well, why do you believe that? And he's like, well, I heard they're racist. And it's like, okay, well, what have they said that's racist? Now, and they go, oh, I don't know, but they're just racist. Right, but what have they said that is racist? I can't give you an example. So you don't know that they're racist then? What are you on about? How has this become the norm now where people are not being challenged for their bullshit? And so that's first start of it. I know I've had a rant, but let's get stuck in because something needs to be said and something needs to be done about it.
Well, we're going to start getting a political party going, getting into power and sorting the shit out.
But the political party would be the fucking think for yourself party. No, that is nowhere near where we're at. We need to do, the think for yourself party that, like, we understand different sides party, but then that's just liberal Democrats and their shit. So it's not good. Either way, we'll get into it more so. But yeah, do you find that? Am I going mad, or do you actually find that is happening nowadays?
It definitely is, and there's actually a stat to this where it's that 70% of your beliefs are forged in your social environment, which might sound fairly obvious, but sometimes it needs to be stated. And I suppose what's kind of happened is before social media, our environment was a lot more colourful with beliefs. You know, you might have parents that think a certain way. Then you've got your friends at school, which think kind of certain way. And then you've got, other people you interact with at work, which think another way. And then you're constantly challenging each other's, your beliefs at all stages. But with the world of social media, we've now opened the doors to the world, essentially. So you can find whatever niche you believe in anywhere, which then, when you're just then a part of that smaller community, it just entrenches your beliefs and makes you believe those things even more without being challenged as you would have been, because you're in that sphere all the time where it's, oh yeah, we hate this. It's like, yeah, we hate that as well. And it never gets challenged because you're not ever getting challenged by anyone else. Whereas a long time ago, your parents might have said, shut up, you've been an idiot. That's not how the world works. And then you might be in your job and they say something different and you're getting a lot of different opinions. Whereas now you can be closed off in your own little bubble.
I think humans innately, and I agree with you, but humans innately are tribal creatures. And you watch TV shows, I know there are, for some reason, I don't know why, but my little girl's 2 years old and she interacts with children of a similar age. And I watch her play, and it is a really strange thing to watch happen, because even at 2 years old, they've got no understanding of racism or political views or rich, poor, status, whatever it might be. They are completely innocent in their thinking. And yet they can still be swayed by certain children's behaviors. So if there's a larger group of children that are, let's say, moving over to the red house to play in, and the blue house isn't cool, then it's the bulk of the children will then believe that the red house is the fun house and the blue one's the bad house. And it's just this sort of group thinking, essentially, where it must begin, but then you become an adult, and it should be that you then start to take, like you've said, different viewpoints and different experiences that you've gone through in your life that then impact how you see things, how you view things, and how you view the world. And it shouldn't be ordained by just one or two people that you've seen online that have come out with a comment or come out with a viewpoint, and now that is your new religion. And to me, it's really frustrating that I see it now, because people aren't having their own experiences, and that's what I put it down to more than anything, is that people are no longer thinking to themselves like, right, I need to go and experience the world. I need to go traveling on my own. I need to go and move to a new city. I need to go and create and make new friends. I need to kind of start a new sport, start a new hobby, do something different, move out from my parents' house, go and challenge myself, do something that will change the way you think about things, push yourself. And then you now have experiences and scars and battle scars that you've been through and gone through, and life experiences and lessons that then make you more aware and wise in your actual day-to-day logic.
Ty, honestly, we're watching this video just as much as these other people, but I can honestly say something seems to be missing, and I can't figure out what it is.
Well, we're at home, we're locked in on a 1-1 tie here at the Brothers in Business podcast, and we're missing out on one crucial ingredient. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, I think as well, a lot of it will come down to the schooling system and kind of cotton wool wrapping in people, in that people don't really like to have their opinions challenged, because if they're found to be not right, or someone's made them feel like they're not that intelligent, or whatever it might be, they don't like that, so they shy away from it in terms of even having the conversation in the first place, because no one wants to have it challenged. And if you don't need to anymore, because you can find a niche of the world that does believe how you believe, then you'll just stick to that and stay safe rather than having to have your worldview challenged. And it's one of the things I used to respect a lot about Charlie Kirk. You know, all he ever really wanted to do was, yeah, he wanted to convince people, but he wanted to convince people during, like, you know, for dialogue, which is the whole point of America and the West of freedom of speech, that he tried to convince and have the conversations with students, but voters, to then have an open dialogue, to have challenges, have thoughts challenged.
And it's a great point. It's sad to think that now that's led to the actual execution of someone, which is wild. And
celebration from some people.
Yeah, that's the killer. That is blown my head off when I saw that for anybody that's happened, whether it's left, right, rich, poor, someone's died. Like, it's a wild thing where it's an execution like that, where it's planned, premeditated, and someone's been shot because of their views. Is wild. And you are right, 9 times out of 10, yes, he had debate, and the point of debate is for me to convey my thoughts and opinions on subjects, for you to do the same, and then to either reach a common ground in the middle, to understand each other's viewpoints, and then either maybe learn something, hopefully learn something, maybe change in the way you sort of see things, and then for allow people to then make their own assessment of it, because people are different. No two humans are the same. So you will always find somebody that you agree with more so. They will become your friends. You will then find people that you agree with through sort of like, let's say, love interests or like a long-term life goal. They will become your partners and for life, or hopefully for life if you're lucky enough. Nowadays, not so much. But essentially, like, then when you meet those people, you form your own little groups. But that doesn't mean that once you've formed your groups, you can't still learn things. And this whole thing stemmed about really off the back of somebody was speaking to a friend of mine at the gym who does a lot of Snapchat for business and for their social media influence and stuff. And Snapchat obviously has an algorithm for that. And somebody's first reaction was like, oh, you still use Snapchat? You're 32 years old? That's so sad. And I just asked them, I was like, well, hold on a minute. Why is that sad? What's sad about that? And they were like, oh, because... I was like, because you've heard it online, isn't it? Like, you've heard somebody say that Snapchat's not popular anymore. So if you're not using the most up-to-date app, it needs to be like Instagram. If you're not using Instagram, then you're weird.
It's like the red and blue house.
Red and blue house. And so, like, I actually asked them, I was like, what makes you say that? And they were like, well, it's used, it's not really popular anymore. It's not really used. And obviously, I know that you only use it for, like, sending messages to women and stuff, or to, like, get one-off photos. I'm like, this wasn't to me, by the way.
Photos.
No, sorry, not one-off photos, but photos. Yeah, photos that only can be seen once, like, before it goes away. And I was like, by the way, it wasn't me. But I said, but then I hit back and said, like, well, you can do that on Instagram, so where's the difference? You can do that on WhatsApp, so where's the difference? They were like, oh, I suppose so. I was like, right, so where'd you get your opinion from? And they were like, oh, it's probably, yeah, I think it was just one of those things that's going around on social media. He's like, so you actually don't think Snapchat's sad. You just think that you've heard somebody else say it. That's what's popular at the time. And so, tough shit, that's now sad, and formed your new basis of belief. The biggest and best one that I always remember, because it was a proper little, it was a divider at school. And I remember, lads will remember this, born in 95. So when Justin Bieber came out, and school was absolutely inundated with, well, Justin Bieber just went huge. He went absolutely everywhere, global, overnight. Justin Bieber was absolutely everywhere. Girls adored him.
I even had the hair.
But he did have the hair. But if you were a guy at school and you were found to be listening to Justin Bieber, you were outcast. You were absolutely ridiculed.
Yeah, it was shit time.
Now, nowadays, and then you kind of grow up, and then it's kind of like, so music is one of those fun things. It's like a very personal niche thing to you. And I know people still do it, but when you are driving past and you have got your playlist like absolutely blasting, and then like an embarrassing song comes on that you might want to listen to, you'll change it because you don't want people to know that you're listening to that song. even to this day, it's fucking wild, and I don't know why people do it.
Blasting S Club 7 down the Litchfield High
That's
Street.
what I mean. I don't know why we've got into this position now where everyone's too worried about being judged for who they truly are, and that's at the heart of the problem.
Yeah, I suppose they want to fit in. I suppose in their environment, kind of like as you're saying, with your daughter, that she wants to fit in and follow. I mean, there's been so many experiments, hasn't there? Really, like where people are like standing up and sitting down, like as they're filling in forms or something, and then more and more people come in, and then by the end of the experiment, there's about 5 people all just that weren't actors that are all just standing up and sitting down, because they think that that's what everyone should have done, and it's hilarious. And I think at the heart of it all, we want to be in a herd or a community or whatever it might have been. And I think with social media, what's happened is the algorithms know us better than we know ourselves. So we click on all these things and click this and click that, and it's all related to our world belief. And so it then gets forced down our throats. I mean, I actually read a statistic. Do you know how many ads the average person sees in a single day? You have to guess.
Well,
obviously,
so if this is video ads, or is this like adverts where it's 1,000?
6,000 to 10,000.
Shit.
So
when I say ads now, I'm thinking when you're driving, you see billboards, you see signs, you see posters, you go shopping, you see ads for food, you see ads on your phone, sponsored ads, everything. You've got so many things that are trying to tell you to look at me, pay attention to us, and buy me and buy what I'm selling. 6,000 to 10,000 is fucking wild.
Yeah, and those are all curated now by, I've definitely noticed that any ad I see, it's like if I've been looking at t-shirts or looking at a car or whatever it might, or houses, all the ads will then be.
Should we play a game? We'll go through my phone. Yeah. We'll stop until we get to an ad, and I'll show you what it is.
Well, there you go. If I'm going to say t-shirt 10 times, see what comes up. Will it be a t-shirt or say something really obscure?
I don't know why the Wi-Fi.
Telescope.
Why is the Wi-Fi? The Wi-Fi's crap in here, but this is your fault. Oh, I know it's working. Sponsored. Right. Surely. Private Reggies. There you go. I have been doing car shopping recently.
This is it. And the algorithms know us better than we know ourselves.
Speaking of another one, advert for a Ferrari competition. So again,
car, isn't it?
So basically, again, we've been car shopping recently. We have been looking at a Ferrari 488 actually. So stay tuned on the channel. We'll get prepared to see the Barker boys, the brothers
karaoke.
The brothers in business, not only blasting Justin Bieber out of a Ferrari, but doing donuts in a car park and drifting sideways. But that's all to come. But essentially, there you go. 2 points that you've just seen. Like, the algorithm is so smart that it notices that I have been logging into Auto Trader. I've also found a reg for marketing that is on the reg transfers. And so it's now selling me license plates and selling me car competitions. And it just knows. I mean, I'm glad, I'll be honest with you, I'm glad it wasn't anything else.
Yeah, could have been anything,
Search
to
history,
be fair.
look, we don't know what could come up, but I'm happy with them.
But this is what it happened, and then this all then reinforces our own beliefs even further, because it shows ads for anything. And if we're looking at, I don't know, the Green Party conference or whatever it might be, and looking after the animals, you're going to be coming up with all that kind of content, and it then
vegan alternatives and things like that, or
and
green hair dye and nose rings,
Beyond Meat burgers and all that sort of stuff. So it's like green spray paint, but
orange paint and high vis and glue to stick yourself to the road like a raving bellend.
Or on the other side, you're getting a load of, I don't know, flags on eBay. British flags.
100 for the price of one. England flags. Hilarious. But this is what's happening though, and you are right. And I think so. The big thing that I want to take away from today is please challenge your own thoughts, why you think what you think. And then also, if you've ever heard something or you've heard something about one, this is the biggest piece of advice that I will tell you, not only to be successful in life, but to be successful in your relationships. Never, ever, ever listen to other people's opinions of other people. Form your own opinions of people, because the amount of times I have had somebody come up to me and say, oh, I hate them, or they're vile, or they're horrible people, or this, that, and the other, then I always question, like, you must be the bitter one. Because if you have still got that much resentment where you're holding a grudge, and look, if somebody's murdered someone, there's obviously caveats to this. But if you have that much resentment towards a person and you're trying to tell, like, what did they do? And they're like, they're just horrible people. They're narcissists. And there's these new, like, they're love bomb or gaslighters, or they're all these new buzzwords that get thrown about. Like, and then you immediately are the type of person to allow yourself to then follow in their beliefs without any like proof that you have seen yourself or firsthand. Then you have become a sheep, and that is a problem nowadays. We need to stop being sheep, start being shepherds in our own thinking. And just because somebody else has told you something, go and question it. Check, is it true? Google it. Find some different resources that are going to contradict each other, and don't just find one source. If somebody said something, go and read into it and find out, you know what I mean? It's not just a sake of just immediately taking everything you hear for gospel.
This is what one of the things that, again, Elon Musk and X did that was really good, and it's the community notes. That if someone says something, or, well, even further now, you can ask Grok. So, like, people's opinion, I don't know if you really go on it that much, but, you know, someone might say a statement, and then you can at Grok and then say, is this true? And Grok just replies instantly and just says, yeah, what they've said's a load of bollocks. This is the truth. And then obviously the community note thing, which preceded it, which they're both still in, you know, still there. So again, you can get accurate information by getting an unbiased source or many people to validate the thing that's then been said. We should do it with, like I say, with ourselves.
And this is a sad thing though, but even with AI now, it's been programmed in certain ways. Did you not see that there was that test that Elon Musk did on certain AI platforms where he was asking about, you know, who are the founding fathers, or give us a breakdown of the founding fathers, but make sure that it's diverse. And they started saying that the founding fathers were actually misgendered, and they could have been that the founding people rather than founding fathers, and there was actually women on the team. And they started, you know, there was a fun test that he did to push the levels of actual information that's being brought out, and it couldn't discriminate, even though the sign of the times and the current state of the world then was, you know, discrimination was higher and more prevalent. It's great that it's not the same now in Western civilization compared to what it was, but that means that the program is like, so even that you think you're seeing the information you think you're seeing on ChatGPT or Grok or whatever these other AI tools are, even they're influenced and biased by people that have programmed them in certain ways. And all these influencers now, I just think it's really grinding on me that too many people are listening to other people and following them blindly rather than understanding them, doing your own research. Andrew Tate, massive divisive figure.
Is he?
People call him a rapist and a child. No, they call him a rapist and a human trafficker. And he went to jail without charge for nearly a year, I believe it was. And the case, he never once got to trial to the point where he was proven guilty. So he was held in a jail cell without charge for nearly a year. And everybody calls him a human trafficker and says, well, it's just obvious he's a human trafficker. I'm like, well, where's the evidence? And he said, well, there are people that have come forward. I was like, right, well, if there's evidence for the people that have come forward, then he would have been convicted, and he hasn't. And he's innocent until proven guilty. Now, again, caveat to that, are there cases where people who are guilty don't have don't manage to get enough evidence, or, you know, we get your O.J. Simpsons where, you know, if the glove don't fit, then you must acquit. kind of thing. And he gets off when it's like, you know, most people would come to the conclusion that he may have actually been the one that, you know, killed his wife. But
Just that minor thing.
and he got away with it. So look, that's not to say Andrew Tate is innocent of all crimes, but you can't say he's a human tracker and he's a rapist when he's not been convicted of either of those things. Do you know what I mean? And until he's been charged, and at the point where he is who he is, who's been investigated to within an inch of his life, and they've found nothing concrete enough to convict him, kind of gives you an understanding that they, you know, probably haven't got what they need, or he just hasn't done what he's been accused of.
The problem that I get with it all on that particular point is that, you know, they went after even Cristiano Ronaldo at one point because there was a woman that was saying he did whatever.
Yeah.
There was James Franco.
And
there was
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber, Russell Brand, which, yeah, but, you know, like, you know what the guy was, and he was a very promiscuous person. But it's like, the problem when they then throw all these other people in the same hat and they say, oh, he's a this in, and it kind of dilutes the whole thing. Then you're like, well, why are they all just going for these people? Like, it all just seems a bit like weird.
But again, I just go back to having some filter in your head that just immediately, rather than just accepting what you hear as truth, because you've heard it on the news or you've heard it on social media, which is the worst place to get your information from. Cristiano Ronaldo has been accused of rape. It's like, oh, he's now a rapist. Oh, no, he's definitely a rapist because I know I was there. He was a rapist, even though you weren't there and you have no clue. Sort of get that filter and go, you've seen a piece of information or heard a piece of information. Rather than just immediately believe it, just kind of go, right, where have I heard this from? Who's saying it? What are their motivations for saying it? Have they got anything to gain from saying it? Michael Jackson, that whole situation where everyone was like, right, he's definitely had children around him, and there's been sort of accusations of molesting children. No one has come forward and said that's true, apart from the two people that then decided to do a super Netflix documentary and get paid loads of money, who said that it was definitely true. And nothing came out, but the benefit of them doing that was all the notoriety and publicity.
Well, yeah. Well, at the end of the day, I'd say attention is now the most valuable commodity in the world. You know, the more attention you can garner, the more you can monetize it. And if people don't think that that can be abused, then you've just been ignorant. Ignorant.
I like it. It's a good point to end on. Stop being ignorant, everyone.
Stop being bloody ignorant.
I think it's important. Just think about what you think, please. Spend some time to actually understand why you believe what you believe. Do you hate people? If you do, why do you hate them? Do you hate Nigel Farage because he's racist? Do you hate Zach Polanski because you think he lives in La La Land? Do you hate Donald Trump? Do you hate Andrew Tate? You are allowed to hate people. You're allowed to like people, but equally, is that relationship that you've got with that person in your own head founded on truth, or is it founded off the back of somebody that has told you something, or a document or a piece of information you've seen on social media that may or may not be true, and you are now shaping your whole attitude towards them because of something you've seen or heard that isn't necessarily true? So stop sheeping. Don't be a sheep. Start shepherding and think for yourself. Thanks for watching.